5 skills to help you become unstoppable in your life. We learn so many skills unconsciously. We're constantly learning, digesting, and evolving, whether you'd like to believe it or not. We process 12,000 to 60,000 plus thoughts per day. Just imagine that. There's just so much happening in our brains at each moment of each day. Up to 60,000 plus bits of information that we're processing each and every day, all building, forming, and shaping how we experience life. Everything we look at and listen to sends us messages, and we interpret those very same messages at an unconscious level. Think about it. Every time you speak to a friend, a teacher, a boss, watch a movie, read a book, listen to others speak, we're downloading information. And some of it will be beneficial and others of it won't. And that kind of poses a problem to the many essential skills that we need to be effective in life. Just mainly because the skills that we need to be aware of them at a conscious level. And unfortunately, for many of us, those skills weren't taught to us. Those skills were given to us in the form of movies, in the shape of watching, observing our caregivers. And for those who were lucky, picked up on those skills unconsciously. However, for those of us who weren't so lucky, how it is we came to possess those skills was through difficult interaction. Maybe the first time you ever got into a difficult conversation, the first time you ever had to make a hard decision that would ultimately direct a course of your life. And that could have looked like you having a conversation with someone where you had to explain or share something that meant something deep to you, meant something important to you, and you weren't able to effectively lay that idea out. And it also could be having a conversation about certain ideas, opposing ideas that would lead you to clash with other people, ultimately resulting in you getting into an argument. You see, most of the time these situations occur because of our inability to communicate effectively, our inability to find commonality within conversations. Sometimes it's the inability to enroll, engage, or invite another person into your world without them having to agree with you. However, with them just seeing where it is that you are coming from. Or alternatively, you not necessarily agreeing with someone else, but you seeing where it is they're coming from. And sometimes the breakdown comes from a lack of clarity, a lack of boldness in sharing the truth of your ideas to other people, leaving a lot of room for ambiguity, a lot of room of guessing. You see, the two main consequences of not having these skills that allow you to become unstoppable in life is, number one, a low level of resilience, and number two, a lack of confidence. You see, a low level of resilience leads you to dwell on problems, feel overwhelmed, to feel victimized, or even to turn to unhealthy coping mechanisms such as substance abuse or risky behaviors, and ultimately sometimes for some people things like eating disorders. Number two is a low level of confidence. When you have a low level of confidence, you hide away from social situations. You ultimately stop trying new things, and you tend to avoid the things that challenge you. You see, there's this breakdown because those very skills allow you to actually integrate your shadow. They allow you to integrate your trauma. They allow you to process what it is that you've been through and come out on the other side, being able to impose a new way of being able to impose a new reality of your world. See, over the past 2 videos, we've talked about how having clarity of vision, clarity of purpose can guide you into help you create a new version of your life, help you to create a new life, and also understanding and eliminating your hindering beliefs allow you to find a sense of peace, a sense of calm, a sense of centeredness, an understanding of yourself to help you progress. However, without these 5 skills that are going to help you become unstoppable, you are unable to truly take advantage of knowing your vision, of knowing your purpose, and knowing your traumas, and knowing where your discomfort, hurt, or things that you just might not have correct about life come from. You see, just knowing these things provides you a temporary euphoria, provides you a temporary level of clarity, yet it doesn't allow you to truly take action and step into that life that you've envisioned for yourself. You see, those 2 consequences disempower you, because having that information is just potential power. Having that information gives you access to that vision, but it doesn't actually allow you to take hold of that vision. And that vision can only be taken a hold of through action. Yet these 5 skills that I'm going to give to you today will allow you to take action effectively, will allow you to take a hold of your future, allow you to grasp your future in any way, shape possible, in the realm of career, in the realm of relationships, in the realm of just experiencing life, man. You see, it's about looking at your life holistically. It's about looking at figuring out how you can perform better, analyze, to diagnose, to synthesize, and treat your life as a mad experiment to find out what truly works best for you. You see, having the knowledge and the information of what seems as if would work best for you is great, but actually having the tangible results, experience, and embedded knowledge of what truly works for you is what creates a meaningful life, is what creates a life of weight and value, but only to you, because you will know through your experience, through your experimentation, what works for you, what doesn't work for you. And also you develop this resilience towards pain. You develop this resilience towards uncomfortability. You develop this resilience of trying things over and over again, even when they seem to not have worked. Yet it could have just been the experience, the person, the time, the lack of tweaking that you would not have actually engaged in if you don't take the action. You see, for some people, things synthesize through the accumulation of trying A, B, C, D, E, F, G, of reading 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 books and taking action on all 5 things that they've learned. For other people, it's that one aha, oh yeah, oh my goodness, that's it, through one action. Yet you will never really know what it is that's going to allow you that aha moment, that's going to allow you that insight that will truly integrate into your system, integrate into your experience of life, of what you know to work for you and for what you know to not work for you and your life. However, I can personally guarantee that the domain of life that is going to give you the most aha moments, the most insights, the most enjoyment, the most value for your experimentation is the domain of action. It's about testing what you've learned and synthesizing it also. So what are the 5 skills that will make you unstoppable in life. You see, skill number 1 is conflict resolution. You see, the reason why conflict resolution is my number 1 is because when you discover what your calling is, what your vision is, what your purpose is, and also when you uncover and eliminate your hindering beliefs, there are many obstacles that are going to come your way. Some will be personal, some will be interpersonal, involving other people. And through that, you need to be able to effectively have those conversations with other people in such a way that you will be left complete and whole with whatever is to occur. And also at the same time, other people will be able to feel as if they have heard you as well. So the model of conflict resolution that I use, that I love, is from a book called Nonviolent Communication, which is right here by Marshall Rosenberg. And the conflict resolution model that he uses is a 4-step model, if I come corrected. And the first part of the model is observation. The second part of the model is feeling. The third part of the model is needs. And the fourth part of the model is requests, making requests. So let me give you an example that we can put this model into. So let's say that I have a disagreement. I'm in a conversation with Johnny, and Johnny says to me, "Wash, stop right there. What are you talking about?" You see, in most common conversations, a most common way of saying that is we would say, "Johnny shouted at me," or "Johnny, why are you shouting at me?" You see, the observation model requires us to look at the facts of the situation. And the facts of the situation, it requires us to look at the facts of the situation in such a way that we don't escalate, yet communicate effectively in such a way we're seen, heard, and respected, and also the other person is seen, heard, and respected. So to observe the situation in such a way where each party is seen, heard, and respected, and also is seeking a solution, or should I say in a solution-seeking manner, is looking at it and saying, okay, yes, most people would perceive Johnny as shouting at me. However, I'm looking to find a solution to this conversation. I'm looking to find a solution to this occurrence. And I would say the solution to this occurrence is that Johnny raises voice. So when having a conversation with Johnny, I'd first observe. I'd say, okay, Johnny, you raised your voice at me. That's part 1. Now, part 2 of the conversation is my feelings. So what happened to my feelings? So part 1 and 2 is observation and feeling. So Johnny, when you raised your voice at me, I felt anxious. So clearly explaining how I felt when the objective action occurred. And then from there, we move into our needs. And each of us have needs that are met and not met. And in this circumstance, the need that wasn't met for me was feeling safe. So to put that in conversational terms, that need is, Johnny, when you raised your voice at me, I felt anxious. And I have a need of being safe. And in that occurrence, I didn't feel the need of being safe was being met. And then from there, we make a request. You see, the request is one of the most important parts of this equation, because the request allows me to guide Johnny into how I'd like to be communicated to in the future. And also, it allows Johnny the opportunity to give feedback on how he may feel we could move forward in the future as well. So in a circumstance like this, I would say, Johnny, when you raised your voice at me, I felt anxious, and I have a need to feel safe when I'm in conversations with people, and that need wasn't met in this conversation. So I'd like to make the request of you that moving forward, that when you're speaking to me, you either allow me to finish speaking and then let me know, and then interject, or interject in such a way that is a bit more polite, because would that be would that work for you? Is that okay? And then Johnny would either say, yes, of course, Wash, sure, or Johnny may present something else into the conversation. Now, the whole point of this dialogue is to make sure that I'm heard, seen, and respected, and Johnny can step into my world and my experience and how I experience that situation, and also for me to step into Johnny's world when I make the request. So that is the number one skill that allow you to live an unstoppable life: conflict resolution. Number two is speaking. Now, people often speak in such a manner that is mindless, being in automatic mode. You know, I bet you can remember the time someone asked you, "How are you today?" And you said, "I'm good, thanks. How are you?" You see, mindlessly speaking is speaking in an automatic sense, not speaking what it is that truly comes to mind. You see, and when you are mindfully speaking, you're speaking your truth as best as you can in the present moment, being aware of where you are and who you're with. And a great way to start practicing becoming more mindful is doing some mindfulness practices. The number one mindful practice I can think of is a body scan meditation. What a body scan meditation allows you to do is to either practice it formally, which is sitting down and imagining, feeling, and sensing all the sensations within your body. You can start from the top of your head and work yourself all the way down, or you can start from your feet all the way up, or you can do it informally when you're out for a walk, or when you're at work, or wherever you are. You can consciously look to feel the sensation of what it feels like to have your clothes on touching your skin, what it feels like to take each step on the concrete outside, what it feels like to have the wind blow through your hair, for those of you who have hair, unlike myself, what it feels like to brush your teeth in the morning. These are all ways in which you can start to consciously get in touch of your sensations at a moment by moment basis, eventually bringing that to your conversations and being able to be present in your environment, in your experience with the other person you're speaking with, allowing you to not automatically respond, but allowing you to speak your truth, to speak your purpose as best as you can in that given moment. So the third is listening. The third skill that allow you to live an unstoppable life is listening. You see, we all have a need to be heard, seen, and respected. And what a luxury that is to afford to another human being. What a luxury that is to give to another human being. However, when a lot of people communicate, they're listening mindlessly. When you're listening to another person speak, are you thinking of the next best thing to say? Do you already have a response in mind? Are you thinking about what you should have for dinner? Or are you thinking about what you had for breakfast? You see, this is a surefire way to not feel connected to the other person, for the other person to feel as if there's a wall in the way of the conversation that you're having with. And to be a mindful listener is to listen to other people as if you were in their world, as if you were over there. It's to listen to other people having left yourself at the edge of their world, being there, being present to what it is they're saying without interjection, listening to them non-judgmentally, listening to them without having that voice in your head talking as they speak, analyzing, judging. And I'm sure you can remember that those times in your life when you had someone sitting over there from you and you felt heard, you felt listened to, you felt seen. And that is a skill that if you were to afford another person, you would be unstoppable. The fourth skill that will allow you to become unstoppable is sales. Sales is such a word that has such an ugly connotation around it. Oh, I don't like to sell to people. Oh, that sleazy salesman tried to sell me something. Let me tell you something. Whether you know it or not, we are always selling to other people. What do I mean by that? Every time you open your mouth, every time you speak a certain way, every time you dress a certain way, you are selling your image to someone else. Remember, we have 12 to 60,000 plus thoughts every single day. Meaning that whether consciously or unconsciously, people are observing us, picking up bits of information, absorbing it, and making judgments, making decisions based on the information that we give out there. Meaning that we're also doing that too to other people. You see, if you get great at the skill of inviting, sharing, enrolling other people into your world, into your vision, into your ideas, you have an exciting life, because you have people that will support you. You have people that will try and guide you. You have people that will also disagree with you and help you potentially come to better conclusions. Yet, without being able to invite people into your ideas, invite people into your world, it would just be a very, very lonely existence, or just boring. The fifth skill that allow you to become unstoppable in your life is being fearless. Being fearless to start those conversations. Being fearless to listen to other people without judgment, without feeling as if you're going to be consumed by their world, without feeling as if they're trying to sell you on an idea. Speaking fearlessly, speaking your truth, speaking your passions, speaking your love, speaking your heart, ultimately bringing people into your world, appreciating, understanding you, the real you, the true you, will allow you to live an unstoppable life. And I'd like you to consider that all of these skills are soft skills, meaning that they can be learned, meaning that they are that they are transferable, meaning that whatever vocation, wherever you are in the world, whoever you are within this world, you will use these skills and you could become unstoppable. Now, remember that wherever you survive, you can thrive. And wherever you be authentically, you can become alive. Ciao.